the Overthinking Nerds podcast. I am Emma Brown.
And I'm Zachary Brown, the lead host. So.
That's not a thing.
True.
The
head host?
We've both been in all the episodes. So
The mini host.
We're co-hosts. We are co-hosts.
Yeah,
and
one
nothing.
of us is a little more important.
No, it's not true.
I guess.
Anyways, what are we talking about today, Zach?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I asked you.
I asked you second.
It doesn't matter.
I think it does. I think it does matter. We're talking about the problem with the movie industry. The problems, probably.
Mm-hmm. Because there's so many.
Yes. But
So
specifically the overly how they place too much inside their model the movie industry, just placing so much focus on money and sex creativity, how that is actually going to end up creates problems.
Yes, my favorite thing.
What's your favorite thing?
What?
What's your favorite thing?
Oh, I was being sarcastic because I get really annoyed about this when it comes to movies.
Yeah,
My
right.
favorite thing.
So anyway, moving on. Who's gonna talk first? You talk first?
I don't know.
I talk first?
Maybe you should talk first this time. We're switching it up.
Oh, okay.
You always have me talk first. So.
Well, I guess the basic thing, because I think we can all agree, the movie industry has abundance of sequels and reboots nowadays, continuations, or feels like everything is based off of an existing IP, even if haven't made a movie about it before. There's, I don't know, based off of a toy or some old TV show or something.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
I was say, I feel like a lot of the times when you look at a lot of the movies that have been coming out over the past few years, it feels like the process, the way people come up with them it's just a bunch of, executives sitting in a room just like, what's famous popular IP we haven't touched in years? Spin the wheel. Oh, it's Men in Black this time. Let's revive that. The Matrix.
Oh yeah, they're doing another Matrix, aren't they?
Yeah, the whatever, Bill and Ted's Excellent Whatever. There's a new one of
Adventure.
those. Yeah, I know. I'm
Okay.
just trying to emphasize how much I don't care.
You've never seen the original one.
I know.
Neither have I. Sue us. Please don't, actually.
Actually,
We're
don't.
poor.
We have no money.
We don't want to be sued.
So, basically...
Oh, and then there's new Indiana Jones that they're doing.
Oh, yeah, they're doing new Indiana Jones. Basically, they're like... They know that these IPs can rake in money just on, name recognition alone, and so they're just spinning the wheel of popular IPs that haven't been touched in a little bit. It's like, doing this one today.
Or not necessarily anyone's or you just doing countless sequels like Star Wars, Marvel.
This has to be a sequel.
Or DC doing lots of just new movies and just keep making them. I mean, there's so many franchises where they just keep making sequels to them. Or when one does bad, let's just do a reboot. Are they doing another Transformers reboot? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's just I think it hurts a lot of creativity when you're just making when you're not taking risks, you're using the same things that make a lot of money. I think Disney is probably one of the worst ones with this.
Don't get me started.
Their live action movies are all reboots of existing IPs.
Mm-hmm.
Since basically all their animated movies are let's do them in live action. We're not gonna add anything new to it, really. We're just gonna basically do the same thing.
Yeah.
Just in live action and worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was genuinely a new take on the stories. but it just feels like they basically make a shot-for-shot remake, and when they do add things, it's stuff that doesn't really add any value. It's just kind of odd, out-of-place changes. I watched a really good video that was critiquing Beauty and the Beast and going through why pretty much every single thing that they changed in that movie really just honestly makes it worse. In their attempt to add stuff, they kind of honestly hurt it. I think it was Lindsay Ellis video, but it was really good, really interesting. But yeah, that's the thing that really annoys me, is that either they don't do anything new with them, or they try to add some stuff to either like fix things from the old movies that didn't really need to be fixed, or add more or add some empty girl power moments and stuff that really just seems like, oh, how can we just milk this for all the money possible?
Well, yeah, a lot of time, or they'll just add scenes just to pad the runtime. Because they do that a lot too. Just add things that are just like, this feels pointless. Yeah, Disney definitely one of the worst.
Yeah, they really frustrate me with it feels like they're addicted to milking all of their IPs for as much money as possible. And
then I think one of the other problems too is, since like they keep doing these obviously because they know these are going to make money because they're popular. And the other big problem with that is also these are the movies that get the most money behind them too. They get the biggest budgets, so they can do the most, so they can have the most, I guess, stuff in them or whatever. Like special effects or whatever, or pay the most famous actors and stuff. Because they're willing to spend these bigger budgets on them. They're not, unless you're like a really, really well-known director, they're not going to give you that much money to create an original story. Unless they just love the script, but you don't usually see stuff like that much.
So this is the thing that sucks, like movie execs don't, there's really, I hate to say it, they don't have any motivation, I think, to try new things or take risks. Because what they're doing
right now is working.
Yeah, it's working for them. It's making a lot of money. Like, even if some of the movies aren't great and there's more creative things that could be done that would be more enjoyable to watch, would actually add something to like help or like liven up the movie industry, they're not going to take those risks because they know that they can keep doing what they're doing and keep making more money without having to risk anything and still safely be rolling in the dough.
Yeah, which I think is a big problem, because I think it really hampers creativity, and then because once you get to a certain point where just kind of like when you watch a movie, you feel like you've seen all this before, because a lot of times you have basically seen it before, because they're just doing the same thing because they know it works.
Yeah.
Although I will say there's some hope for some chooser, because there are still some people creating new anchors. Like I know you flip on Disney, but Pixar, most of their movies, except for the sequels that they do, except for Toy Story and Cars for some reason, they usually don't do a ton of sequels for one of their I don't know how to call them a franchise, but from one of their series or whatever. They actually still create new stories that are actually creative and original, which I think is good. We need a lot more of that. Yeah,
I would agree. I still have faith in Pixar because I think they've been able to, I mean, obviously not everything has been a hit, but pretty consistently make a lot of like original content that still has heart, and then they don't try basically bleed dry for money. So it still gives me a little bit of faith. It's still possible.
Yeah.
And there's also there's still, like, other movies out there that, you know, are creative and, like, do add something new and just aren't taking some other recycled idea that's been redone over and over again. Like, this always comes to mind, the movie Yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That's for
most of you probably haven't seen.
Yeah, see, yeah, they're not, a lot of movies like that I feel like probably aren't super popular, but they exist. And
by the way, Yesterday is basically the premise of the movie is that this guy wakes up one day and he's like the only person who remembers the Beatles still. That the Beatles exist, and he's the only one who remembers any of their songs.
It sounds like a really strange premise, but it's really unique and creative, and I think it's important to have that. I wish there were more movies that were so actually creative and...
Yeah, I mean, there's there like I said, some directors, like, the famous ones who are still making, like, original, like, creative stories that are, like, Christopher Nolan, he usually does, like, most of his movies are pretty new and original stories.
Yeah.
He usually comes up with, like, actual new ideas and doesn't, I guess, with the exception of the Batman trilogy, that was already an existing thing. Most of his other stuff is, like, new stories and ideas. And his Batman trilogy is really good, so that doesn't matter.
Even that, though, even if it was, you know, using a different IP to already existing character and universe, and those are still, like, creative in their, like, the filmmaking and storytelling and everything, that interpretation within those movies. So, see, even when using an already existing IP, you can still bring something new and fresh to the movie industry. It's just when that happens over and over again, and then those things are just, again, like, blood drive for money with so many sequels, that it kind of gets annoying to hear, oh, they're making one of these movies now.
Yeah.
Then that's yeah. There's a fine line, but yeah.
Yeah. It's sad. Creativity is dead. No, it's not. No, actually, it's established. Creativity is not.
It's not dead.
Creativity is not completely dead. Although I do think eventually, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I do feel like people are eventually going to get tired of seeing the same franchises and movies over and over again. And they're going to have to adapt and create new original ideas, I think. Because I was just thinking, though, it's like, when's the last time, like, it's been a few years since, like, a really new original idea and franchise was created? I guess Harry Potter, because that's... I mean, that was based off of a book, but those books are at least newer.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's been a while since there's been something like that that's really revolutionary.
That's been a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Unless we're just missing something really obvious.
Maybe.
We could be missing something really obvious.
I don't have a timeline in my head for anything. I don't...
Yeah. But it feels like nowadays it's just superhero movie. After superhero movie.
I mean, I love...
Oh, they're good.
I love superhero
most
movies.
Of them. Although I'm getting a little...
In general. I like Marvel.
Although I'm starting to... I mean, I think, actually, it's probably honestly good that this year we're only getting, like, one. Maybe. If Black Widow actually comes out this year. I don't know if that's actually going to happen.
Like, I love Marvel and I love their movies, but I think it is also
probably good to get a break.
To even get tired of those.
Yeah, because they've done a lot.
So many.
And there was a period of time where they were trying to feel a little formulaic.
Yeah.
Although I think they've... I do think they're gotten, like, a little better about that, but they're not. They don't have a sky beam in every single movie.
I'll be really interested. I know we already talked about this. I was just to say, I'll be really interested to see if they're able to do, like, more different things within this new coming phase. But
Yeah. I'm also interested to see how it is without all of these really well-known characters. So, like, people like Iron Man and, like, Captain America, who've kind of been, like, the center of this whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You gonna say something?
It just slipped my mind.
Oh. Movie industry.
It's
Interesting thing. So
yeah, it's an interesting
predictions.
state.
When do you think that it will happen at a point where the movie industry will be forced to adapt and actually create some new original ideas?
I
Or do you
hope
think-
so. I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Or do you think they can get by on reboots and sequels forever?
I don't think they can do it forever. I think eventually people will get tired of
Want
stuff
something fresh.
once all of those dead horses have been well and truly beaten. Like, I feel like if there's nothing really new to refresh it, which I feel like if there is, like, a wave of things that refresh it, the cycle will probably end up repeating. But I feel like there'd have to eventually, because, I mean, sure, it's working right now, but I feel like at least some people are becoming more aware of, like, oh, this is kind of getting repetitive with all these reboots and stuff. This is getting a little much.
Of course, when that
I
happens,
think they might lose interest.
That'll probably be also when going to the theaters die.
Yeah.
Things are unless something major happens, things are kind of already trending that way towards theaters dying out. Because honestly, the things that keep the theaters alive is just big blockbusters like Marvel movies. That's also the problem with, like, with movies. Everything is just, they put everything behind just a few big blockbusters and don't really care that much about a bunch of these other smaller projects.
Yeah.
You gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna go back to what we were saying earlier about, like, you know, the last, like, more, like, really big new IP. We forgot about, like, Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things.
That has reached a pretty big level, but that does sound like it's going to end. Yeah,
And
it's not a movie.
We're talking about movies.
I know we are. That just popped into my head, though.
That is a new IP, but...
That was interesting.
Well, because,
yeah.
most of the new original content is going to streaming services right now. Not, like, movies are just, like, reboots and sequels, and then most of the original stuff is either made by really famous people, or, like you know, really well-known directors, or it's indie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna say it's like majority of people don't watch indie movies.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go.
Mm-hmm.
I would really love it if something did change in that regard, just to, especially like with Disney and their live action remakes, just really stick it to them.
Disney.
Wish those would fail. I want those to bomb.
Lion King was probably just cementing their minds to keep doing this because Lion King.
I know.
Lion King made over $1 billion, wasn't it?
I am appealing to just people everywhere. Please stop going to see Disney live action remakes. They don't need any more success. It's ruining creativity, and you're being duped. Your nostalgia is being used against you for lackluster remakes.
Calm down. I was gonna
Please
say,
just stop watching
it's really just their live action stuff, honestly, that's original. Because, like, you know, their Pixar stuff
Yeah, no,
is original.
Pixar
Even just
is.
like they're just most of their just animated movies are news stories.
Yeah. That is true.
So it's just live action, they just don't want to do anything new. Reboots are everything.
Even sometimes in animated though, I wonder how many Frozens we're gonna see. How many Frozens do you think they'll make before they give up
5.
on it?
No, probably. Okay. Probably, honestly, do they... I'd be so, honestly... I would almost be surprised if they do more than 3. They really don't do many more than a trilogy.
That's true.
Well, we did get 4 Toy Stories, but that's Pixar.
I didn't hear too wonderful of things about Frozen 2.
Well, it still made a lot of money, though.
It did, because...
People don't... Do you think Disney... know what Disney says when the critics complain about movies? Sorry, I can't hear you over the $1 billion I just made. Because, The Lion King, that didn't get very good reviews, but Disney doesn't... I don't think Disney really cares that much about their reviews as long as they're still making money.
That's true. I hate Disney so much. I hate them so much.
It's all about the bottom line, Emma.
I know, and I hate it. Go die, Disney. Actually, don't, because I still like some of their stuff.
They still make good Marvel movies.
Yeah, and we have to thank them,
and they have Pixar.
For Clone Wars. I guess.
No, we don't have to thank them for Clone Wars.
That's true. We would have had more Clone Wars.
We would have had more Clone Wars if Disney hadn't canceled it. They just brought it back for half a season, essentially, so we would stop, just so Clone Wars fans would stop complaining.
The only thing I can possibly thank them for is Marvel.
If it wasn't for Disney, no, you can thank them for The Mandalorian.
And The Mandalorian.
And Rogue One.
Okay. I can thank them for Marvel and some Star Wars stuff.
Yes. Just not the sequel trilogy.
But in all other regards, I hate them.
Hate's a strong word.
Yes, it is, and it works here. It explains
it
expresses my strong feelings towards Disney.
Final thoughts, comments, concerns.
I hate Disney.
Cool. Is that all you have to say?
Go out and look for creative movies, people.
Yes, find new stuff to watch.
Yeah, find new stuff to watch. That's the moral of the story.
Don't get sucked into what Hollywood wants you to watch. The countless sequels and reboots. We demand new original stories in theaters. Yes.
We demand quality and creativity.
Of course, we're part of the problem. We watch a lot of these sequels and reboots.
I do not. I don't watch...
You don't watch reboots. You watch a lot of sequels.
I do. I haven't watched Toy Story 4, though. I probably won't.
You realize you can watch it on Disney Plus, and you're not giving them any extra money because we're already paying. Shoot,
it's the principle. It's the principle of the thing. Dang it.
Okay.
I haven't watched very many live-action remakes.
I've watched most of them, I think.
I'm getting quite tired of rebooted stuff. I don't know. I would certainly wait until I hear reviews to watch something like the new Indiana Jones.
Oh, I'd go to watch it just because I like Indiana Jones.
You're falling into the corporate trap, Zachary!
I'd go see it in theaters.
You can't do it!
Indiana Jones.
You can't!
There we go. We could do some Indiana Jones. Anyway, anything goes.
Shoot, I forgot about that. You go. Hey, wait.
I don't have anything.
I mean, Zach.
You go. I asked first. I asked first, and I don't have anything.
You go first. I don't have anything either. What do we do?
Talk amongst ourselves. Just pick some. Look at something in this room and pick it for anything goes.
There's nothing interesting in this room, Zach.
Okay.
Oh, I had something earlier. Now I can't remember.
Okay, I got something.
Okay.
Sports during the pandemic. What do you think?
It's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea?
It's a bad idea.
You don't think you can take precautions?
Obviously not.
Well, I mean, you don't think if you took the proper precautions, you still don't think they should do sports?
No, because people are too idiotic and selfish. That's what I'm chalking it up to.
Wait, what? Wait.
Well, I don't think you can bank on the fact that with all these different people from all these different teams, all of them will have the self-control to be safe. Or even if they do, if that's even possible, because if they have families and stuff come into contact with them, that's a lot of people to account for. And if even one of those people gets it, then you can have a chain reaction that just...
Well, it's already happened in baseball. There's
I know, that's what I'm saying.
There's a few teams already have it. I mean, I think if you do it properly, you can. You kind of just... I do think, though, most of the players would basically have to be isolated most of the time.
I know, and wouldn't that be unhealthy, honestly, in the long run, if you're thinking mentally?
Well, no, I mean, isolated with their teams. Well, yeah,
but
so you wouldn't be like
you
all
can't see your family.
You could be isolated. I think you could be isolated with your team and your family. I just don't think you could really go do anything else during the sports season.
That's still a lot of people to account for, though, and I think they're
kind of doing that in basketball. They're not doing it in baseball since I think basically all the basketball players are basically kind of in the same. I think they have like 2 sites they have all the games at. I haven't really looked that much into this, but they're doing like 2 sites where all the games are to kind of isolate themselves. Like baseball, they're not doing that, and we can see a big problem is at this point. I don't think basketball's really had that much of a problem.
Yeah,
so I think you can. You just have to take it. I don't think baseball is taking the right precautions.
Yeah, I just think it'd be really difficult.
Honestly. Yes, it is difficult, and I think you do need to have the conversation of, is it really worth it to do all this just for sports? Which I like sports, but in the grand scheme of things, they aren't really that important.
I personally do not... See, it's the thing. I personally do not care about sports enough to be that invested in this.
I will say football. Football would be really hard because you have lots of contact with the other team. So I'll be really interested to see how that goes.
Yeah.
So that's my anything goes.
I just remembered what I wanted to mention earlier.
Go ahead.
This is anything go... I mean, I know are kind of rules that not exactly supposed to talk about, like, you know, movie stuff, but we can still.
No, we can talk about No, that was not a rule.
Well, that wasn't a rule? Okay, good. Because, you know what we could talk about? Talk about the Hamilton movie!
Yay! Hey, why don't we just do a whole episode on Hamilton?
We should do a whole episode on it!
That was a joke.
And then I can talk about Broadway.
Maybe we
You heard it here! I have you in recording! We can do an episode on it!
Yay. Maybe we need to have a guest, and then I can leave.
but then it wouldn't be the podcast if you weren't here.
Oh, yeah, it wouldn't, because I'm
No,
we're
the co-hosts!
No.
We are the co-hosts!
You just admitted that it's nothing.
No, I
didn't. The podcast is nothing without me.
Because we need both of us.
No.
Nothing without me.
You just need me. I'm the only one.
Shut up.
Oh, fine. So, what about the Hamilton podcast? Podcast? No. Movie. Sorry, we're on a podcast. What about the Hamilton movie?
I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up. How it was really cool.
Yes, it was good.
And I know I've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm. What?
But I'm just it really excites me because I think.
If you talk into it, it's louder.
I know it is, but it's just difficult to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, you had to lose there.
Did you lose? Do you remember where you were?
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna mention that it has me really excited because I think it could possibly, the success of it could possibly open up the chance to make Broadway in general more successful. Maybe more pro shots will happen. Maybe that might just be me thinking very wishfully, a lot of wishful thinking, but I hope we see more pro shots as a result of this. And I hope that people that higher ups, Broadway industry, realize that there's a lot wider of an audience than people who just come to see the shows. That would,
the people who watch them illegally?
Bring them revenue.
Are you talking about the...
just people, not everyone who isn't able to go to shows watches them illegally. There's some goody two-shoes out there. Who
just listen to the soundtrack?
Who just probably listen to the soundtrack and watch, interviews and consume it that way and stuff. Who probably don't know about bootlegs. Or
probably do.
Are on some moral high ground.
Are you saying you've watched bootlegs? Is that what you're implying?
I'm not going to say that out loud because they're illegal. But I didn't say anything.
You haven't implied it.
I didn't say anything, okay? But, so not everyone, but there is this wider audience outside of the people who can afford to pay for these super expensive tickets and, like, tickets to see the show, plus plane tickets and all of that, who they can, get more money from. Who they can, get more money from to bolster revenue for the whole industry and revive it, because if it keeps going the way it is, especially with the pandemic, it is going to die. That's my short rant. I'd be so broken up about that. I know you don't care, but I liked
liked Hamilton. I just don't know anything about any other.
There might be other shows that you would like. Maybe. I don't know.
But does it have the Founding Fathers singing?
No.
No, see, isn't it George Washington singing, Emma?
Is that your criteria for a musical?
I need
you want George Washington.
I want George Washington.
You want George Washington specifically singing.
Yep.
Okay, that's really specific criteria. I know there's a musical about... I don't know. It might be about, like, John Adams or something like that.
Was that one not near? The one must not have been nearly as popular as Hamilton.
But there's one that's around a similar amount of time. I've never listened. I've never period of time. I've never listened to it though.
Did that one come after Hamilton? I'm assuming.
No, it was before.
Oh wait, really?
I think so.
Oh, that's funny. I just would have imagined a musical about the Founding Fathers would have come after Hamilton.
No, No, actually, I don't think there were any copycats, actually, that really popped up, so.
Really?
Not to my knowledge. Frankly, I act like I know a lot more about Broadway and musicals in general than I do. I'm still fairly new to the whole Broadway musical
if they had any copycats, scene. I probably would have done really poorly.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have made it to Broadway.
Yeah. Agreed. So... any final comments, questions, concerns? No?
Don't think so.
Alright. Well, this has been the Overthinking Nerds podcast. I am your lead host.
I am your other lead host.
No.
Shut up. I am a host. I'm just as important as Zachary. Ow! He
you are the mini host.
For the record, he just bit.
Ah!
Goodbye.